and welcome into Coleman today. You're in for a very, very special treat. If you were not able to go to the Christmas tour of homes, the tour that the Share Club typically puts on, they try to do it every year, but some years they're not able to. If you were not able to attend this year, you're in for a treat because we're in the loft. We're standing in the home in the loft of Edgar, Beth Veigel, and Lily Beth, and they have been so gracious to invite us to come in today. And those of you, like we said, that were not able to attend, you're in for a treat because you're going to get to see the inside of this gorgeous loft. And I asked Beth and Edgar as I walked in this morning, would they please move into my house and let me move into here? Because it feels so comfortable and wonderful. Now, we're standing in this gorgeous kitchen. First off, how tall are your ceilings?
So they are about 14 feet high.
Love it.
Yes.
Not too tall.
Not too tall.
They're wonderful. I mean, it's just a good feel. The cabinets are so striking, and when you first see this, you might think, oh, it's contemporary or whatever, but it's not. It's just surprises everywhere. So tell us about the cabinets and your countertops.
So the cabinets have more of a, I guess, contemporary or modern feel. And I really wanted to go with something that reflected the light because the space isn't huge. And then I warmed that up with the lantern glass tile on the backsplash. And when I did the countertops, I did a large OG edge, double stacked the island. And the countertops are Veigel stone, which is a quartz, but it actually has hand strewn striations all the way through. So it's through and through the stone.
All the way through.
And it looks like a Calcutta or an Alabama white marble.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, and it doesn't etch.
Oh, I love
like
that.
the marble would.
Like the marble would.
So.
Love your sink. It's a big, huge, what I call a kitchen. Help me.
A large single bowl.
Yes, single bowl. Yes.
And sink, and
yes.
I love that. I have a lot of clients that do the double bowls, and they love the double bowls. I am a single bowl girl.
I've never had one, but I want one. And there's another name for that. I was thinking of. It's not country. It's
like a farm.
A farmhouse, similar to that, isn't it?
It is similar. Okay. Yes, it is. It is similar.
But it's so nice and deep. Love the stools, the bar stools.
Thank you.
Very, very unusual. I know they're old.
They are. They're antique. They are porcelain, and then they have the original brass kick plates on them for your feet to rest on, and these and the leather. And these came from an old soda fountain.
Oh, neat.
So which was nice. So
neat.
Nice. To
love that.
Get
Now, of course, you've got the commercial grade appliances and stuff. But also, one thing that I think is very, very striking, and we'll see that in just a little bit, are the windows. Because it's not just, it's a whole wall of windows, but it's different. That all totally folds in and folds out. Is that correct?
Correct. It's a bifolding door system, and it opens completely flat. So if you've looked into or seen Nana Wall, this is something very similar to that construction.
Made in Germany?
It is. This is made in Germany. Okay. So, and actually shipped from Germany here. But
and wonderful deck and patio area.
Thank
you. Love
you.
that. And you stay out there a lot when you have time.
We do. Edgar, my husband, did the build on this, and he did the hidden fasteners on the floor, so you can't see them, but it's teak. That's Brazilian teak called kumaru. Okay. On the floor, so
love that. And of course, as we go down the hall, we're going to see some very, very unusual things. And one item is directly behind you. And a lot of people might not know, Beth, what those are, but those are old conductors, electrical?
Glass insulators. They are, yes. Okay. And so you would have seen those on, this one in particular would have been at a major intersection, major power source. Okay. So, but it's one of my favorite pieces.
No, I love it. It's just beautiful.
Oh.
And as you go on past this area and down the hall, and you'll see some gorgeous old shutters. And then on either side, a couple of lanterns. I love those.
Yes, those are beautiful, and it gives a nice, I guess, warmth to the area because I didn't want to paint the concrete block, and if we had drywalled it, it would have kind of we would have had to come in farther because we'd have to fur it out, and it would have taken that much more space away.
Wouldn't it?
And
Yes.
painted it would kind of remind me of the inside of a school lunchroom.
Sure.
So I like it just
Yes.
natural.
Just natural.
But to have that, it just warms it up.
It does,
It's
doesn't
nice.
it? And as you're talking about the walls, let's take a look at the floors, because all the floors are concrete.
Yes.
But yet they're a little bit different finished.
They are. Edgar had a hand in this. He went and studied concrete polishing and all of that. And so he and a friend did the polishing on all of these floors. And the aggregate shows through.
Yes.
We didn't do any stain. So this is just the natural concrete. I would have loved to have done white concrete, but it's not as dense.
Okay.
So it's not structurally as good as this.
The shower is just fabulous. Not only is it large, you feel comfortable, but the tile is beautiful. The idea, how did you come up with this idea?
So I really wanted a focal feature. This is the room when you come up at the top of the stairs that you actually see into. And so I had looked and looked for what they call wallpaper tile. This is a glass tile. It's 5/8 inch wide, both directions, and it forms a mosaic wallpaper look, but it goes it's over 10 feet high, and I framed it out with what they would call in the industry as a picture frame.
Okay.
It doesn't come like that. Measured it out where it all equaled the same width all the way around. So
Just sets it off, doesn't it? That
Yes.
frame is just gorgeous. Love the sinks. Just love. I mean, there's what is not to love.
Thank
I mean,
you.
the bathroom is fabulous. And of course, we're not going to take you into their closet. I'd love to get in there and look, but great closet to our left, and stackable washer and dryer. And the neat thing about, I think, the two things about living in a loft is that you have to be very organized, which Beth is. I think Edgar probably is too. But the way they have their shelving, and you have to be organized to be able to have all your stuff, don't you?
yes. And I'm so thankful we have the height,
The height.
in here because I can switch clothing out with the seasons.
Seasons, yes.
So
that's
nice.
what you do, the height, and see what you're talking about. Let's take a look at the bedroom. The bedroom is
Okay.
fabulous. We're in the master bedroom of the loft, and I'm looking over straight ahead, and I see a gorgeous metal door, very, very unusual. And then I see something above it that's just. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's just so. Tell us sort of about this room, how it came about.
Okay, so this is the master, and the metal door was actually a gift from another shop owner in town who had sold the building, and she had this downstairs, and we took all of the paint off, and Edgar, my husband, and John hung this. It didn't have a track originally, and I just wanted it to either close off the closet or the hall.
Okay.
So it goes both directions, and I had those handles from something else, and we used it on this. The picture above, the large
Yes.
panoramic picture, is, we believe, from the turn of the century, and it's all men. There are no women in that picture. So it really, I don't know, it
Says
caught my
so
eye.
much, doesn't it? I mean, really.
It does, and they're dressed to the nines.
Yes.
So I looked it up. I believe it's in Boca, but it's somewhere in the Florida area. And
the building looks like it would be, doesn't it?
yes, I've narrowed it down to about 3 places, but we're still looking it up. And the corbels on either side of the bed, those are old horsehair and plaster original corbels. They came off of the exterior of a building in Montgomery.
Oh.
Now, I happened to get those at Southern Accents here in town.
Okay.
And then the original gray is on there, but I had to redo a few things, were the nicks and things.
Okay.
The lights are from old phonographs, and they're hand-painted floral inside. And so those were turned into lights. And then the
Look,
sign.
The sign. Oh my goodness. Oh, I
The
love
sign, it's a little over 8 feet, and it's a gift that I got my husband a few years ago. And supposedly that came from one of the old groceries in Mooresville.
Mooresville.
So
Okay. Morrisville, Alabama.
It's an old RC Cola sign, and it's original patina paint, which I love. And so around the room, antiques are from my family. The clock from the 1700s, that was my great grandparents. And this empire table was my grandparents. And so it's just
beautiful.
nice.
And the neat thing about the lights, the pulleys, I mean, and they're not exactly alike, and you wanted it to be that way, and I love that. Instead of being matchy, they're just beautiful. They just pop and stand out. The fan, if you haven't noticed the fan, folks, the fan is very unusual too. I love that.
Yes, and the mount system, we have a wonderful guy that works with us. His name is John Zavka.
Yes.
And you'll probably hear more about him later.
We hope so.
But he is a true artist, and
really is.
all of the metal work, especially any of the decorative metal work, he did all of that and came up with that on his own. So any of the fan mounts that we have, the curtain valance, I wanted that. I visually saw the vision, but he's the one that comes up with how that vision will actually work.
So he is a true artist, folks, and we have scheduled to do an interview with him soon, and you're going to really find him interesting. Great fella to talk with and to learn from, and he's from California, so by way of California. We're going to look at the gate. There's a gate in the hallway that goes down the stairs that he just completed just recently.
So we have had just a temporary gate up because we do have a little one, right, and 23 stairs. And so, but to see this, it's absolutely stunning. And he actually mimicked it after we have a choir loft rail that my husband pieced together. We just had odd pieces, and he actually put it together where it looks as if those were the pieces that matched. And he did this to mimic that style, and it's really nice.
It is. I loved it when we first came up the steps, so I know you've already seen it by now, but thank you for letting us come in and enjoy your beautiful home, and it is just gorgeous. And if you were not able to come to the Christmas tour of homes on this past Sunday, we hope that you have enjoyed today's show, and that you know that these folks are loving this loft and loving living in downtown.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Beth. And of course, we'll be back with more right after this.